Welcome to episode 26 of the Laced Up Show. This is a show all about sneakers and sneaker news. I'm your host, Chase, with my co-host today, Landon, and we have another great episode. And sorry for the late kind of, brief. Yeah, it's been, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's been a while. We've been putting some work in behind the scenes. But other than that, let's just get right into it. So Stephen Curry teases its next signature sneaker. So Steph Curry has been busy this summer, and it's not even over yet. You got the all-NBA point guard, has led the Golden State Warriors to another NBA championship, hosted the ESPYs, and then also threw out a first pitch at the Oakland Athletic baseball game. So, but also he has been actually photographed playing basketball in his 10th signature sneakers. So the Curry 10. Unfortunately for the fans, though, the photographer, geez, Louise, censored the basketball shoes, so we don't actually have any photos of the Curry 10s yet. But Landon, since you played in the 8s and the 9s, what do you expect from the 10s to be like? And then also, what would you like to see improved in the next model?
Man, that gets me so excited. You did a nice little Steph intro there. Winning the championship, hosting the ESPYs, man, that is great. Yeah, but I mean, for the shoe itself, I'm so excited just because the Curry 9s, we should have put them on. I didn't know you were doing a Curry article. I would have had them back behind us. But the Curry 9s, you got them right there to your left. They're really nice. The only thing with, don't even grab them. Don't worry about it. It's fine. But I mean, the Curry 9s, the traction is amazing. So I'm expecting that the 8s and the 9s, they both use this new UA flow foam or whatever it was. Not flow foam. That's the cushion. UA flow something, whatever it is.
The traction.
Use it as the traction pattern. So sticky. It's one of my favorite shoes to play in. So I mean, as for the cushioning, it took a small step back last year, so I'm kind of interested to see if they're going to, try and enhance it, because the Curry 8s were soft and had good traction. The Curry 9s were a little bit more supportive and had the same great traction. If they can get some type of combination of the two, because the support was a little shaky on the 8s in my opinion. So I mean, if they can the Curry 10 could be something sick, and the 8s and the 9s, I love them. So whatever this 10 is.
Do you think they'll improve it so that you can actually play them outdoors so they don't get shredded?
That's the thing. So it's I've actually never. So it says durable in the listing. I've never actually tested them out outdoors, just because literally feeling the outsole.
Yeah, they're so soft.
It's a really soft foam. So I'm not totally sure, but I mean, as far as the improvements, I'm surprised. These can't be dropping until at least November or something. It's not he probably plays in the Curry 10s for almost a year before we even see him. Behind the scenes, just different stuff like that, testing them out. So I mean,
maybe. I don't know.
The Curry 10s aren't going to be out for a while, even if eventually. Do you imagine being able to know that? Get that
when they're coming out. Yeah.
It's more likely, I feel that they're testing out Curry 10s and trying to figure out this is a picture of him trying out a variation of the Curry 10.
Yeah.
Seeing which one's going to end up, feeling the
making
best.
Yeah.
My greatest, my biggest, question mark always is, say we get a shoe in, right? The Harden 5.
Yeah.
That we're just dang, man, this is not good.
Yeah, that was garbage.
They okayed that.
I know.
James Harden okayed that.
Yeah.
The traction.
I hope he didn't.
He's out there playing it.
I hope he didn't.
He's out there playing it.
Yeah. I don't know how.
It's not he doesn't play.
I don't know how.
There's certain models
But he doesn't really do many cuts
I don't know. He's out there playing in them, and he's a dynamic player. So I'm just saying the ones that this is not very soft, or the traction is not very strong. So traction is one for me where it's I try and relate it to the more everyday court, because for them it's out there playing on NBA court. Oh,
the perfect court.
It's waxed every day. It's very waxed at halftime.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's traction's always gonna probably play pretty good on their courts. Whenever it comes to cushioning, cushioning and support are more the main ones where it's those should play the same for everyone on about every shoe.
Right.
So I mean that's the nice part about ever since Curry took over his own branding or whatever with the Curry 8s, and now he's on the 9s, about to be on the 10s. The shoes have looked sick in my opinion. I mean, I just think they look like good basketball shoes, but they played really well. The traction's been good. The cushioning has never been bad. The support's never been bad. So I mean, if they can get some type of good support and good cushioning, because I think each of the 8s and the 9s had a small gap where they could have had a small tweak to get a little bit better. This Curry 10 is probably gonna go crazy. That'd be sick.
I wonder if they're gonna say Curry 10 or they're gonna go Curry X.
Oh yeah, no, it's so weird. I never got the final verdict on the Kyrie 8s. If it was the Infinity
super
or the
weird.
Kyrie 8, so I just go
I've
8
seen on
Infinity
listings. Yeah,
everywhere.
I see. Oh, that's all I see
Well,
everywhere.
what
Kyrie
bothered me
8,
is
Kyrie
there
8
was no
Infinity.
consistency on it. It was
Yeah.
like because Nike was first, it was just Kyrie Infinity.
Yeah.
It straight up, I was like, of all the places that would put Kyrie 8, I swear it'd be Nike. Then you go to Finish Line, it's Nike Kyrie 8,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's
What do we
obviously the
do?
same shoe. It's not like confusing.
No,
It's only
but
confusing as to why there's not like
yeah,
one.
I don't know. I don't know why Nike
type
did that.
name. So
Super
I mean,
weird.
it's whatever. But I mean, the Curry 10 is gonna be dope. Like I'm so excited.
We'll get them in and
I
we'll
know,
review them.
It's gonna be a while, man. Those shoes.
I know.
It's gonna be forever.
Do you think?
They'll
Well,
probably come out around the start of the season, like November,
yeah.
December.
You think? Well,
Hopefully, they're in time to make this year's top list.
Yeah.
Shoes.
yeah.
But I feel like they're not gonna be. 'Cause
Speak.
they didn't make last year's either.
Oh, that's
They
true.
didn't, like
That's
they came
true.
in too late.
Right.
Like I think they didn't hit the shelves until December, and I like had filmed the video early December.
Yeah, I think we'll see them
Something like
earlier
that.
than then.
It'd
But
be great.
speaking of new shoes, what do we got next?
All right, so here we go. The Nike Kyrie 9 might be Kyrie Irving's last signature shoe with Nike ever. So earlier in May, it was reported that Nike would consider not extending their current existing signature shoe deal with Kyrie Irving beyond the 2022-2023 season. That said, the Nike Kyrie 9 could be the last Nike Kyrie signature shoe to release on the market. However, this does not rule out the potential retro releases of past like Nike Kyrie footwear, or perhaps his involvement on sportswear, like the side of things from the brand declined to keep him signed in some capacity. But this first look at the Kyrie 9 is like a white university red, black, kind of like wolf gray, reveals like a completely new redesigned featuring sustainably focused materials on the upper, a completely new traction pattern. It's a new model currently expected to release on November 11th with this specific colorway scheduled to release on November 24th. So I mean, this is like one of those stories where like I didn't see this coming, but like I felt it coming, like for some reason with all the, you know, not only the drama but like the headlines surrounding Kyrie right now. Like
Yeah.
I'm just not totally surprised that Nike may want to take a step back on this. But what's your take on the Kyrie 9 potentially coming to a close and closing out his entire line with Nike?
line.
That sounds crazy.
You know,
A year ago, that sounds crazy.
yeah. I for sure think I'm kind of excited because we talked about this off air, and I think Kyrie, being the creative he is, can pull out some crazy stuff if he has more power.
He's
And
such a free thinker. Do you think
Yeah.
he would just? Do you think? I feel
we
like
talked about it.
who is
Kyrie,
it?
Kanye.
No, but you know what that made me think of is like, we haven't seen the athlete that like is sponsored or does stuff with multiple brands.
Oh, I don't think
Yeah,
he'll ever do that.
I would, but
I
how
don't
crazy
think
would that
so.
be? Not like, but like the
Like a
the
collab,
off-white
right.
type stuff.
He's like the Travis
can-
Scott of NBA.
Yeah, the closest I could think
Right.
of is, you remember whenever I think we talked about this article. Do you remember whenever
That'd be gross.
Kyle Kuzma signed with GOAT?
Yeah. Yeah.
He signed with GOAT,
Yeah.
and like was wearing their stuff. I think
Mhm.
it was like clothing, it was everything. It was all GOAT related, like shoes. Like he'd be wearing. I think it was Kyle Kuzma. It might have been PJ Tucker. I can't remember who it was, but someone signed with GOAT and started wearing all this heat on the court or something like that. I think it went away pretty quick. But I mean, the problem is like, it's one of the better like lines
For sure.
within Nike.
For sure. I don't know. The Kyrie 8 was a little weird. It was definitely a weird, at least the cushioning setup.
The Kyrie 8 is amazing.
It is. It's nice.
I
but that
love it. Like
cushioning
it's
was
different, but I
kinda
mean,
weird.
and it's weird because that's the same shoe that that's the shoe that he said he hated and didn't want to play in.
Yeah. Yep. I
So
agree.
it's like, I don't know. I mean, I think probably just like a sour taste. Nike's just like,
Oh, for sure.
like,
No, it's definitely
after all that stuff.
off-court
I mean,
stuff.
you had
Yeah.
all the off-court stuff, but then Alan, exactly. The Kyrie 8 is so nice, but you had the whole thing where it's like, you know, the Kyrie 8, he comes out and publicly like trashes the shoe.
Yeah.
And then, so it's not even like the whole, you know, vaccine and the not player empowerment, but just like the activism and the stuff like that, just
Mhm.
like kind of the contradictory stuff. I just feel like it's more so like, whenever the LeBron 20 comes out, I'm pumped to see those two. Those are going to be sweet. I don't even know when they're scheduled to release. It should be this summer. His shoes normally come out around actually, that might not be right. I don't remember when his shoes released. The LeBron 19 has been out for like
Jeb,
a
we'll
little
sign it.
while. It's been out for a little while, but I mean, it's going to be interesting. I just don't know. It's going to be weird to not see Kyrie's line. I feel like if Kyrie doesn't end up staying with Nike, no one's going to sign him.
Well,
So
nah,
listen
I
to
think,
this.
I
This
think
is
Kanye
weird
will.
though. This is
I
weird.
think that.
Kanye.
Yeah. I think
That doesn't
Yeezy
count.
will.
That doesn't count.
I mean, obviously out of the big four, yeah.
No, it doesn't count
No,
because
I don't think Adidas. Yeah, LeBron 19 was a
it
disappointment.
was way
I
too
agree,
heavy. The
Alan.
LeBron 19 low is kind of
But no, I agree with that. Nike obviously is not going to sign him. I doubt
Nike won't sign him.
Jordan's not going to do it.
No, that's
Adidas, no. Under Armour, no. Puma, I could see the only out of the big guys, the big manufacturers.
You can't even consider
I'd say
Puma in that, honestly.
Oh, stop.
I mean, they're there now,
Stop.
but like
They're
they're not established.
Well, I mean, they came out with an absolute bang.
They used
for
to
their
be.
one.
They used to
Yeah.
be, but it kind of like fizzled out.
So,
They're definitely coming back.
I'd say it's either going to be Puma or it's going to be Kanye, and that's it. It's going to be either Yeezy, Kyrie, or it's going to be Puma.
Well, I'm
Kyrie.
just trying to relate it to the fact that like whenever he was like putting out these trade talks and saying like I want to get traded and all this and that, no one was wanting to trade for him.
Right.
So you got to imagine. I feel like the optics of that means like what brand is going to want to sign someone that
exactly.
people aren't super interested
Exactly.
in. Like I don't know. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to it, but just the very fact that we're actually talking about Kyrie maybe being on his last shoe
I
with
know.
Nike is just crazy.
I know it's coming to an end. What an era.
It's not over yet.
But hopefully they come out with a
It
bang
seems
because
like it is.
I don't know. Hopefully they come out with a bang. Adidas and Nikes, yeah, I don't know.
I mean for basketball, that's
it's
for
pretty close.
basketball,
Not
it's
even
pretty much what
Jordan.
it's at.
It's literally Nike, Adidas, but Puma's,
Jordan just doesn't have as many athletes
Yeah.
and doesn't produce as many shoes independently. I feel like I don't know.
yeah.
All right, but what do we got next here?
Moving on, this one's gonna be a little lengthy article, but it is actually crazy what's happening in the sneaker
I
world.
heard about this.
Yeah, so Zeta Kicks owes roughly around $70 million worth of sneakers and refunds to customers after his scam. So this Friday, federal prosecutors have launched their criminal case against Eugene sneaker reseller Michael Malikzada. I'm going to go with Zeta.
This is going to be very long.
And-
Guys, sit down, buckle in.
Yeah, this is
Go
a
ahead.
good one. So claiming that in April he owes customers more than $70 million for undelivered sneakers. So the government alleges that Zeta's company, Zeta Kicks, defrauded thousands of customers. Prosecutors also leveled charges against Bethany Mockerman, which is his fiance, and senior financial officer Zeta Kicks, also claiming that she conspired to commit bank fraud. So prosecutors claim that Zeta has priced his sneakers below the market price, which attracted lots of buyers, but his sales prices were often less than what he paid. He knew that it would be financially ruinous to actually deliver the sneaker, and then the prosecutors allege. So he actually was, known for delaying sending the sneakers to customers, sometimes up to a year, and promised refunds or gift cards to the customers if he stiffed. But he usually stiffed them often and failed to deliver, the prosecutor said. So, yeah, overall, I mean, it's kind of crazy. Let me read one more example. But I mean, he was making tons of money. Apparently, his 2021 credit application at American Express, Zeta, claimed to earn more than $17 million in profit, which his total sales exceeded over $340 million in 2021. So, I mean,
I know a lot of this
putting
was
some money
because
in.
of the cool grays, right?
Yep.
Like
yeah.
the Jordan 11 cool grays. He
Yep.
took pre-orders for I think he took
Yeah.
his
Here it
pre-orders
is
for
right
like
here.
600,000 and he could
Yep.
only get like 6,000
Yep,
or something
exactly.
like that.
Yeah. So he actually priced the Cool Grays released in 2021. He was selling the shoes for $115 to $120 a pair, and the retail price was at $225. And so that that bargain price attracted like thousands and thousands of purchases. Yeah, netted him about $70 million worth of sales just on that one model, and over 600,000 pairs, like you said. And yeah, he claimed to only get around 6,000, which is what the government says. So
Oh my god.
yeah, overall, he's in big trouble. They're coming after everything, all of his assets outside of what the business actually owes. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. But Landon, what are your thoughts on this whole kind of this scam happening? And it seemed like he's been doing it since 2013, and so he's kind of been reputable, but I don't know what happened. It seems like the cash cow turned out or something. I don't know if it was COVID related, but yeah, overall, what are your thoughts?
All right, real quick, Alan, KD 15 versus KD 14 video is coming out in 2 days. So we'll have that full breakdown for you there. But as far as like this article right here, like it makes you wonder, man, because there's people out there taking pre-orders. Like it's a thing.
Yeah.
Like pre-orders are not
backdoors.
new.
Yeah.
Pre-orders are not new.
Yeah.
Like especially if like say you win a raffle, you can do a pre-order.
Right.
Say you win a raffle, you can do a pre-order. There's ways to do pre-orders legitimately, and then there's ways to, I mean, there's no such thing as a sure thing in this. Is the only problem.
Right.
Like, there's even people out there that can be as close to a sure thing as you can have. There's all types of different botters, all types of different people that clip tons of pairs all the time, over and over again. We know this. Otherwise, there wouldn't be bot protection on anything.
Right.
So, I mean, it's like there's certain people out there that can almost guarantee they're going to get this, that number of pairs on every release. 600,000 is what you thought you were going to get. That's nearly
under retail.
But that's nearly what the quantity was probably produced at.
Yeah, it was.
I can't remember. It was
it
actually
was
a big release.
It was a million.
It was actually a big release.
It was. Remember, it was scheduled to be. Rumors were 1 million, and stock numbers came out, and it was like 100,000.
Bro, how arrogant you got to be to think even at 1 million, I'm gonna clip 60% of them.
Yeah.
60% of the whole market's coming to my house. Where does that go?
Right.
Where does 600,000 pairs go?
Here's the thing. It's not like he's botting. He's got to know like the major factory or something.
He has to know Nike.
Yeah.
.com.
Yeah.
Like legitimately.
Alan, it is his last Kyrie shoe. Kyrie 9.
I know.
It's an end all.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
It's gotta be.
It still could. They say like they're open to what was it? They were open to seeing how much value. I mean, a lot of it's gonna hinge on this year. Honestly, it's like it's weird. It's like a what you call it, like a actual contract in the NBA. Like once your deal expires, they can decide if they want to re-up it or not. Normally, you just don't have to ask.
Yeah.
Like with these hey, do you want to re-sign Steph Curry for a 10th signature shoe? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Or they'll sign him to a lifetime deal. Like I just saw how much money AI's made off of his lifetime deal with Reebok. Makes me want to cry.
Really?
Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Good for him.
But I mean, yeah, with him, like since it's not a lifetime deal or anything like that, it's not like a Kobe lifetime deal, LeBron lifetime deal, or something like that.
He was close though.
He was.
I bet you he was
like
close.
After this contract, in their head, it would have been like you play out this contract, wear out this contract, and then lifetime.
I think so because just
he would have been lifetime probably. Yeah. Just the way that people look at him. Where's your lifetime deal, Jep? I don't know, man. Keep working.
But yeah,
keep working.
So wrap it up. What are your thoughts on that whole Zeta thing?
Dude, I'm telling you, pre-order. It's such. How do you resolve this?
Yeah.
How does this get resolved? This is like literally just ruined this kid's life.
Oh, he's an actual adult. He's like 30s.
Where's the what constitutes jail time? Like, can you get jail time for something like this? Is
financial?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
avoiding
like
tax fraud.
I mean,
fraud.
this is This is like legitimately worse than tax fraud because now you're with tax fraud. You're messing with your money in the government.
Right.
This is like 600,000 people.
Yeah.
It's got to be. It's either 600,000 people or it's 500,000 people with some of the other 100,000s being one customer ordering 2 or 3 or 4 pairs from this guy.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. It's crazy what's going to happen.
It's not shocking. I mean, if he's sitting there labeling these things, you can get them for $115 to $120. They'll never be that price.
Yeah.
They'll never be that price. You could have offered them all at retail.
Yeah.
Anything at retail would have sold literally immediately.
Yeah.
Cool. We got like 2 pairs. They sold immediately.
Yeah.
For like $20 over.
Yeah.
Because there was so many of them that the resale just wasn't that high.
No, but I mean they moved quick. But before we start, Alan, it looks like Alan's saying they have to renew the shoe line for the Kyrie 9s. They're just too popular and affordable. And I would say no. Nike protects their brand vision over everything.
Nike does cut athletes. I mean, we saw like whenever you see someone get like in trouble, like I want to say like Tiger Woods or something along those lines, like they'll cut ties.
Well, they did with Tiger.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, just like that.
They'll cut ties.
Yeah.
They'll like. It's a little different. You don't normally have to see someone close off a shoe line though.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird, but I honestly think it's an end all be all.
We're dealing with unprecedented stuff now. Like the media has never been the way that it is.
Oh
like,
yeah,
they have the power to change and talk about anything. Nothing goes. It's so weird how nothing goes unnoticed now. Like you can't like do anything in private.
Yeah, I mean, if you do, it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder.
Gosh.
I mean, everyone's got a camera. But moving on, Landon, what do we got next?
All right, so now we got Paulo Boncaro is signing with Jordan Brand. We're just talking all about shoes today. So Paulo Boncaro, oh my gosh, not blonde, Boncaro. Paulo Boncaro is signing with Jordan Brand. So it took just 2 games for the Orlando Magic to pull the first overall pick, Paulo Boncaro, from Summer League, believing that they had seen enough of his high-level play that made him their guy in June's NBA draft. much like the Magic, Jordan Brand is acting swiftly to procure the services of Boncaro, reportedly nearing a sneaker deal with the incoming rookie, which should be finalized. And he would be joining a roster that includes veterans such as Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook, as well as some young stars like Luka, Jason Tatum, and Zion. So I watch these games. Like, I can't lie. Paulo does move a little bit. He just looks a little different on the court out there just compared to some of these other players. So I do think this is a good sign by Jordan Brand, and they haven't really been, making you wait very long for signature shoes. Like, I mean, Zion is already on his second shoe. We literally got it right back here. You already got the Luka ones coming out this year. So I honestly just think it's kind of funny that, out of the 3 young stars on this list, Tatum's the only one without his signature shoe, and he's the only one to go to the finals.
Super
He
weird.
literally just went to the finals.
I wonder if they're like really focusing.
They're probably
on
regretting it now. Yeah, they probably want to make a splash with him.
Yeah, like
at this point, what else are they doing?
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that out of the 3 young stars, Tatum's the only one without a shoe, and he's been to the finals.
I wonder if Tatum's like really involved in that, and like they've been like doing constant tests.
Probably got that like underdog chip on his shoulder. Like I don't want a shoe until I won a championship.
Oh,
I want to get it.
Can you imagine?
No,
it's a Nike's contract.
I don't think it's that deep. But what do you think about this news, especially since Paulo was the number one overall pick in the upcoming draft? I know you don't like watch a lot of basketball, but Paulo Boncaro signs with Jordan Brand.
So they just played the summer league. Is the summer league over?
Yeah, it's done.
Okay, yeah. So he played drafted,
2 games,
right?
Yeah, he played 2 games in the first stint. So they have a few different summer leagues. Like they have it in San Francisco. They have one in Vegas. They have like a few different spots that they do summer league. But he just played 2 games and then they pulled him.
Was he? He wasn't from. He's
from Duke.
Oh, he's from Duke?
Yeah,
oh, okay. So they've seen him. I was gonna say, like, where did they find this guy? But okay, so you went through the American college.
So Paulo
and he was. I'm assuming he was a baller.
He was a top prospect, but it was projected to go Jabari number 1, Chet number 2, Paulo number 3. And instead it went Paulo number 1, Chet number 2, Jabari number 3. So the 1 and the 3, how the mock drafts, how everyone's mock draft had it set up Paulo 3, Jabari 1. And instead Paulo went 1, Jabari went 3. And it shocked everyone because he actually didn't even work out for the Magic.
Really?
He didn't even work out for him.
Wow.
He worked out for the Rockets, and I think he worked out for the Thunder. He worked out because it was like almost like foregone information that Jabari was going number 1.
Interesting.
Maybe they just wanted to, but he looked really good out there. But I'm just, they're starting to sign some young talent.
Yeah, I don't know. Jordan needs to make some. I mean, so far Jordan even still, I don't know what it is. Like their shoes have.
You want to know what shoes have
been
been great though? The shoes within his line. Michael Jordan's taking care of himself. The Jordan 36 and the Jordan 35 were both really nice, and the 34.
Yeah, but it's so weird. Like Nike being a top tier shoe
Here's
manufacturer.
Jordan. Look him up. Type in Michael Jordan. Yeah, he should pop up. Yeah. Do I think Chet will get his own shoe? That'd be interesting. That would be interesting.
Who?
That's it. Actually, I think that was gonna be like. So people have also honestly, the people poked the fun at the fact that Duke. That he went to Duke and then Jordan Brand went out and signed Paulo with Michael Jordan going to UNC. Just a little fun there. Yeah, with that aspect. But I also like there's a second, and I think I asked this in my short version of this actually. But like I just want to know the number 1 overall pick is signed. So where do we think the 2 and the 3 are gonna go? That's what I'm kind of asking people during our during the short version of it, just because like I'm just curious. But I mean,
early.
They are. I mean, I feel like just out of this class, I feel like one of the top 3 got to go to Puma or 4. For sure. Like I feel like Puma's like so zeroed in. They're probably just like feeling it out, trying to figure out which one to really hit on.
I don't know, man. I'd say it's either both. I'd say they hit a home run and they're timid. They're like, okay, like we gotta really, that was really good.
Well, I'm trying to think because out of the last, like I'm trying to. Jep, that's what I'm saying. People forget about Puma, but out of the last 4 drafts, I want to say some of the people that they've been signing is Marvin Bagley. They signed him whenever he was the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah,
he didn't really pan out much, but initially. They signed him. They signed Michael Porter when he was the number 7. They signed LaMelo Ball whenever he was the number 3.
Right.
They signed DeAndre Ayton, number 1 overall pick. That's a 1-1-3-7.
And
in the past 4 years.
Yeah, and only one of them turned out.
I mean, DeAndre Ayton's good, but I mean, you got to be in this day and age. You got to be next level for a center. We literally just talked about that. Where's the Embiid 2s?
Yeah,
the dude just had an MVP season. Where in the world is the Embiid 2?
Yeah,
did he just say is he done with Under Armour? I feel like he's been wearing his Embiid 1.
That would have been in headlines for sure.
Yeah. Trae Young got his shoe quick too with Adidas. I mean, no, it was Adidas. It was Adidas. Since we got them right there, Trae Young ones. But I mean, that's just the thing is like Puma's been nabbing all these guys, and I feel like LaMelo is gonna pan out for them for sure.
Yeah, he'll be in the league
Still got
for
a
a
chance
while.
for DeAndre Ayton. Still got a chance for Michael Porter.
Right, because he's been
Missed
hurt.
the whole season because of injuries.
Right.
But he's a stud.
Yeah.
I know for a fact. He scored on me repeatedly. And he blocked my shot. So I know that Michael Porter can play. But I mean I think it's I love seeing this stuff like where because we were just talking the other day about how DeMar DeRozan re-signed with Nike, not to even have his own shoe line, but to continue to be the face of the Kobe Bryant line. What
are we doing? It's my next article. You better chill out.
Hey,
we'll talk about
sounds
that.
like a good place to cut it off.
Well, no. Before we end it on one more question.
All right,
you got Paulo signed with Jordan. Do you think Paulo's gonna get a signature shoe before Tatum?
Do I?
Yeah.
No way.
You don't think so?
No way. There's no way. Because like
if that happens, what would you
do? There's like legitimately no way. I'm just curious because out of this like draft class, it's they've been saying like there's not that like surefire superstar. There's just like a bunch of good players.
Right.
So I'd just be interested to see like if someone just like out of the dust just because like Nikola Jokic was like a second round, 42nd overall, something pick like that, and turns into a 2-time MVP.
Right.
Like whatever. So that's the fun thing about the draft every year. That's what the people who get so heavily invested in cards and stuff like that mess with was like, I'm gonna buy this guy's rookie card.
Sleepers.
He might be this. He might be that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But moving on, because Landon already introduced it, Nike makes DeMar DeRozan the new face for Kobe's. So the NBA and sneaker world never have taken a day off. According to Shams Serena of The Athletic, Nike has re-signed DeMar DeRozan to a new 4-year deal. So the company plans to keep all NBA forward as the featured face of Kobe Bryant's sneaker line. So in a tweet by Sam Charania, fresh off making the All-NBA second team, Chicago Bulls star DeMar DeRozan has signed a new 4-year deal with Nike that keeps him as a feature face of Kobe Bryant's iconic line, sources tell The Athletic and the Stadium. But after Bryant retired in 2016, DeRozan began carrying the torch for Nike Kobe's signature line. The All-Star regularly debuted the newest Kobe models. In addition to a new Kobe hoop shoes, DeRozan would often pull out older models that he has collected over the years. So, Landon, do you think DeRozan has what it takes to be the face for Kobe's shoe line moving forward?
Yeah, this is I definitely do, and I think this is a good role for him. I'm just surprised that this is a role, and I think it's cool. Like it makes me wonder about like how much talking and stuff like that goes on behind the scenes, stuff that you just don't think about because they're not signing DeRozan. I mean, he's an all-star. Like it says, you missed one. We're perennial all-star. He's also year after year after year. So I mean, like this guy's always, but he's also not he's not Ja Morant flashy. Right. He's not Joel Embiid big. He's not this and that. He's just, a really solid player. He kind of has more of an old school game. It's funny, actually. He uses the mid-range game a ton. I wonder if there's that's what Kobe used to do too. There's a lot of similarities. A lot. I mean, the tiers, play styles. Right. Yeah. Like play styles are the same. There's obviously tiers to, who plays better. But as far as because it makes me think because they probably assign different athletes different roles like this all the time. We just don't think about it. Like the GT jumps, Jokic was debuting those, and I think he was the GT jump featured athlete. Like he was the one that was rolling out those shoes, those new sneaker releases and stuff like that. Yeah. Whenever similar, I didn't know it was his role. I just knew that I'd be watching the NBA and be like, oh, DeMar DeRozan broke out some never before seen Kobe's. Yeah. He's testing out the Kobe 6 Pro Tro for the first time. Right. He's breaking out this stuff. And obviously there's a difference between PJ Tucker, who's the sneakerhead king, who has literally every shoe on the face of the earth. Yeah. But as far as DeMar DeRozan, it's just Kobe after Kobe after different Kobe after different Kobe. Kobe Pro Tro, Kobe just actual. Yeah. So it's just I think it's just really cool that they have those brands defined like that. Someone for Jordan needs to get an athlete that's Jordan does do that. Mike Conley within Jordan's brand, he's been a Jordan athlete. Now that I think about it, it's all clicking in my head at the same time. Mike Conley, he was even on the sneakers thing whenever he unveiled what the whole sneaker lineup was going to be for Jordan.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't remember. I don't know if you saw
That's
it,
pretty
but
cool. I didn't see it.
it was on the Sneakers app. It was like he unveiled every single major Jordan release for 2022
Huh.
ahead of
Wow.
time. So like whatever
That's
it was,
so
the
nice.
Jordan 5
They should do that
Concords
more often.
dropping this weekend, like was like unveiled. The whatever like way back at the beginning of the year. So honestly I thought that was pretty cool. But I mean, just as far as like the role itself, I think DeMar DeRozan is a good guy to do it. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what new Kobe's, because it seems like Nike and Vanessa kind of like refreshed their relationship.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they definitely like.
I feel like it's going to open a
found it.
lot of windows for both parties.
Yeah. Well, it kind of brings up the second question I want to know is like, okay, so you got Kobe's legacy. It's gonna live.
Shoes
on,
do cost too much, Jep. I feel that.
But so you got Kobe. Is someone gonna do the same thing with LeBron? It's gonna.
What do you mean?
Like LeBron's line's gonna live longer than him.
The thing is, like,
because he's already signed like some athletes, right?
I don't know. No, he wants to. He tried to sign Luka, so that's what I don't know. What that would even look like. Like, I think they're calling it Team LeBron.
Right.
First off, like,
so it's like I don't even know, like Nike, LeBron, Luka ones, like.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's where it's a little fuzzy. I'd have to do some deeper diving to kind of figure out what exactly like how exactly that would work. I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, or is it just more like Luka would just wear a LeBron's line?
And there's like an element to that being weird, like with the player being actively playing.
For sure, like
it's almost like a retirement type thing. Like you got to be retired 5 years before to get in the Hall of Fame. You got to be retired 5 years before someone's gonna like start representing you in the league.
Yeah, super
somehow.
weird.
Like I don't feel like anyone's gonna come into the league and wear be the LeBron 1 guy, LeBron 2, LeBron whatever guy.
Right.
Like people in the league wear LeBrons. Like I think that's the funniest part to me. Like you imagine like Steph Curry's a little different because he wears Under Armour, so we'll like relate to someone else, like KD playing up against people that wear KDs.
Oh, yeah.
And like LeBron playing up against people that wear LeBrons, Giannis playing up against people that wear Zoom freaks.
There's really not like that much.
There's only it's so weird
at
now.
That
it's
high
all like
performance
it's
level.
all signature lines now.
Yeah.
Which is something that I used to not even live in.
Mm-hmm.
Like in my head, it all used to be like
shoes.
Whatever, yeah, just whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like the Renew Elevate to the Fly by Mid to the GT Cut to the. I never once was looking for a player's shoe.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first time I wore a signature like line was like D Rose, my sophomore year of high school. And then my senior year, I didn't even do it again. I think I bought them by accident. I bought them. I was like, oh, look, this is like a D Rose Adidas shoe. And then, but I just saw it was Adidas basketball.
Interesting.
I kind of like the look. So like now I just feel like there's much more like, because you even seen like women's basketball shoes don't really release much anymore. Like women playing men's shoes.
Oh yeah.
It's just kind of how it goes now. Women playing GS or women playing like men's shoes. There's not like a whole lot of women centric basketball shoes out there. So I mean, it's just interesting. I feel like
for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like there's not, especially at that high tier, there's really not much you can choose from, and it is pretty ironic. Like you're like, hey, that's me, like that's my shoe, and you're playing against it.
Yeah,
that's such a weird feeling.
Even like Chet made his debut in like the KD 15, and KD tweeted at him on social media and said, "Hey, like the shoes you're like rocking, Young Buck," or something like that. I was just like, that's just so weird.
Yeah,
the social media aspect of stuff is so weird now.
Yeah.
I almost wish we could go back to without it.
You think?
I just think it was more fun. Now it just makes everything some nonsensical debate. No. I like debating as much as the next guy, but like legitimate stuff.
I know.
I feel like now we're just trying to
pros and cons to have everyone having a voice. So, but wrapping it up, we have the infamous copper drop. Landon, take us home.
You know what time it is. It's time to bring this episode home with the segment Cop or Drop, where Chase and I will look at some of these scheduled upcoming releases and give our opinion on the design. So starting off with the Jordan release, we have the Air Jordan 12 Low, 25 years in China, releasing on this Thursday. Cop or Drop?
Drop
on these?
Yeah. I don't know. It's
I like the Jordan 12 Low. So like,
okay.
say like, all right. So let's do this real quick. Would you do Jordan 12 Low or Jordan 12?
12 Low. Yeah.
So okay. So we're at least there. I'm dropping these two. It's just too much black in the front.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like weird.
Yeah, these look way too close to the confetti ones after the Bucks won the Super Bowl. I feel like.
Do you think? Those were red.
Black and red.
Yeah.
It's got the stuff on the.
But it's
upper.
a little weird because like 25 years in China, like what represents 25 years in China here? The confetti, that's it. Like I don't know.
Didn't do a lot of digging on
No,
the colorway.
no, it's a little.
I'm dropping it, so I didn't need to.
Pretty
do
basic. Dropping.
It's nothing special. So, all right, next up, this release isn't actually confirmed yet, but what do you think about this Stussy Nike Air Max 2013 Fossil colorway?
It's okay, but it's still a drop. I wouldn't buy it. I like the. I don't know if I like the model itself. I mean, I like. I don't know. Stussy's okay. Like
I'm copping these.
Really?
I like the Air Max 2013. You don't like it?
It's all right. I mean, it's like a nice walking shoe to me, but a designer Stussy.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's
the
like
collab overall.
That's kind of like
it's like okay.
What do you go for?
It's not gonna resell.
You're not little Mr. Hype over there.
Well,
you're
I'm just saying it's
Bape,
not
Off-White.
No,
Louis Vuitton
but
over there.
I mean, if I am gonna spend more on a collab,
I don't know how much more it is.
Oh, they're gonna be more. They're gonna be more in retail than a normal.
It'll probably be a little higher.
2013.
Well, the thing is, 2013 Air Maxes are kind of expensive, anyways. I think they're like 160, like 140 or something like that.
That's so crazy. And they were made 20
I swear,
years ago.
like I used to see these things at the outlet, and it was like $90 marked down from like 160 or something like that. I'm pretty sure.
Nah.
That could be so far off now that I think about it. But
now
let's finish it off with a few Jordan brand releases. What are your thoughts on this Air Jordan KO model releasing in this Rush Orange colorway? Copper drop.
I don't like the KO model at all.
Yeah, because we've actually got these in hand. Remember
like
we had the
so
Billie
cheap.
Eilish?
It's like so cheap. Yeah, the upper the what is it called? The
overlay?
The overlays are all like plastic. You remember?
I mean, we'd have to get them in hand to see what the quality is.
You don't remember the Billie Eilish ones?
I remember them, but I don't remember how they felt. I thought they felt nice, so maybe I'm just...
The quality was garbage.
I mean, I'm dropping them too. It's still too vibrant for me.
Well, the thing is they literally made a Jordan 1 mid that's like exactly the exact
We got
same
those,
thing.
yeah. We got those in. The back wasn't...
It was so close.
It's weird. Like, the back wasn't white, but then
mid.
they made a Jordan 1 high where the back was white, but the front was, like, black. So it's like a crossover between the Jordan 1 high and the Jordan 1 mid for the colorway.
I don't know. Dropping.
I don't know. I'm dropping those two. But let's finish it off here. Copper drop the Air Jordan 5 Concord dropping this upcoming weekend.
Drop.
I'm copping these.
Really?
I got to cop them.
Five?
I have to cop them.
Landon.
They're purple.
Barely.
Exactly. I mean, I don't want it to be all purple.
It's okay. I mean, I just fives overall.
I don't like
drop. So heavy, so bulky.
But for me, it's like I like the 5 highs better than the 5 lows. I like the original 5s better than the 5 lows.
I like 5. I like lows.
No, I said that and that doesn't actually sit right.
Because what was the one that we got in? That was black and green.
The Clot Jordan 5 lows.
Yeah, and those were. I was like, okay, these are not bad.
We also got like the Girls Who Hoop Jordan 5 lows.
Yeah, I like 5 lows, man. 5 highs. I think the quality is better on the 5 highs.
You know what I think? I think I like the 5 lows too.
Oh, okay, so now.
But I like the 5. But I just like the color scheme. I like the color scheme. I don't think I could personally wear them.
I don't know. Overall, it's a drop across the board.
It's a rough. Yeah, man. This was honestly, I felt that coming too. My one shot in the dark was that Stussy.
Yeah.
I thought I might be able to squeeze
today, and I'd probably drop them all too.
I know, bro. I was gonna do Yeezy Day, but I couldn't find enough stuff on it, and I didn't even. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I have not ever. I mean, not like I don't judge or anything like that, but for some reason I haven't been like feeling Yeezys lately. Like I used to like be hanging on every drop. It kind of felt like.
Yeah. Do you think you getting them changed your perspective? Because you got in a pair.
I like them, but like, you know, the only other Yeezy thing I really want now, because like I used to want the 700 V2s, but it looks kind of bulky on my feet.
Yeah.
So I feel like Yeezy slides and I'm probably good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I wear slides enough.
Old Yeezy or new Yeezy? Oh, for sure, old Yeezy. New Yeezy's garbage.
The Yeezy's doing weird stuff. Like they got that whole Yeezy Gap pop up. Did you see that thing the other day? That was insane. They had like a random pop up Yeezy Gap store.
I heard. I mean, I know about the collab, but
they didn't announce the information until like just at a random time.
Oh, really?
They said like Yeezy Gap is open at this spot in New York.
Oh, okay.
Go now. And all of a sudden, like 2 minutes later, they're showing videos of people like flying through, and it was so weird. Like the shopping process, it was just like a bunch. It was like a big brown box, and like box after box after box. You just like kind of pick through, Is what it looked like. It was weird.
That's
It
so
literally
weird.
looked like a home. What would I call that? It looked like a
It's like
like a thrift store, like a thrift shop.
That's what I was just
I was
about
about to say homeless shelter. That's not what I wanted to say.
No,
It
but
looks like a thrift shop or something like that. Like I was kind of shocked by it.
Overall,
But yeah,
yeah.
rough week on drops.
Yeah,
or
for
on
sure.
cops for that one.
Yeah.
I mean, but hey, we'll do better next week, and we'll try and be here next week. But
Yeah.
that's actually gonna wrap up this episode. Thank you guys for taking some time to watch. But until next time, peace.